turn, all we see about is the Sathankulam incident where police brutality went beyond bounds. This is a very pathetic incident, and if there has been no lockdown, definitely there will be protests everywhere seeking justice for the deceased father and son. Still, this incident got global attention. But this is not something new to us South Indians. That is, police brutality is not something new to us. Time and again, we've seen police brutality, that is violence against citizens and custodial deaths in newspapers and in TV channels. But in recent times, police violence against citizens have been recorded in mobile phones and circulated. So this starts a rage in social media. The policeman in India takes the law into his own hands, and for him, beating up people without any fear of consequences is a routine matter. No superior is going to question him, and no politician is going to call him up for an explanation, and in some cases, even citizens will praise the police officer for being very strict. But when we take the recent incident that happened in the US, that is the death of African American George Floyd, in the middle of the pandemic and lockdown, tens of thousands of Americans have stormed the streets of cities to protest. They did not mind the rules for social distancing and home quarantine, and they marched to register their anger and fury against police racism. Similar incidents have happened before in India, that is, there have been custodial deaths and there have been custodial rapes, and when those happened, people did take it onto the streets and they showed their anger through their protests. But when it comes to police beating up the citizens, they do not take it very seriously because, of course, there is no lives lost. People know very well that it is unlawful for an Indian police officer to lay hands on the citizens. But still, when that happens, people either think that it is not that big of a deal, or they think that nothing could be done about this. And we can shortly say that people are quite lethargic when it comes to police brutality. And even if we take the Sathankulam incident, it took time for it to go global, unlike the George Floyd incident. Forget global, it took 3 days for this incident to get good attention in North India even. Also, nothing that happens in the South India is of much big importance to the North, and this is a very perfect example for geopolitics. And coming back to our topic now, how did police brutality become such a normal thing in India, and why are we Indians not taking the issue of someone laying hands on us very seriously? If you remember, much of the 80s, the encounter specialists became heroes of Mumbai for killing off criminals rather than going through the long judicial process. Also, Indian films have no issues in showing policemen torturing the suspects in their custody despite the rules against it.
लाल मोहन, आपने तो मेरे मुंह की बात छीन ली सर। अब अपने जख्मों को बोलने दे बबुआ।
This would not happen so easily in a Hollywood film, even though it may be happening there in reality. Also, police behave differently with everyone. In US, the police may see just the race before deciding to be brutal. But when it comes to police in India, they see a person and analyze if they are ignorant or people with good connections. Also, other factors like caste, religion, language and economic status will be considered. Once the person is found helpless, police may use the chance to be violent. So, in conclusion, the rich in India does not have any reason to raise their voice against police brutality, and the middle class does not want to do anything that has to do anything at all with police, and the poor will be beaten up badly even if they raise their voice to defend themselves. But we are hopeful that the Sathankulam incident will be totally different from the previous incidents, and that the deceased will definitely get justice, although it does not matter now that they are gone. But after this, there will be at least an ounce of hesitation before a police officer lays his hands on a citizen, and in India, that really means something. Stay connected with us for more such updates.